The conspiracy theories from fans have got to stop. It's boring. Nobody believes it. It doesn't deter away from the real issues within the game. And I don't really think it helps your football club either. I don't really think it helps drum home to the players that you were naive in this area. You made these mistakes. You should have been more ruthless. You should have been more clinical. And this isn't aimed at any one particular fan base. We talk to the top six predominantly here at the Terrace, but every single top six team has a fan base who believes the referees are out to get them. Spurs fans think, oh, the other five are bigger than us. They get more calls. Chelsea fans think there's an absolute conspiracy to ensure they never win a Premier League title again. Man United fans believe that everybody's an Abu, anybody but Man United. Arsenal supporters believe that there is a Premier League-wide FA, deep-rooted FA conspiracy to keep them down, to put bad decisions against them. And when I say Arsenal fans, Man United fans, Tottenham, Chelsea, etc., I'm talking a percentage of their fan base. It isn't all of them. But it's become tiring now. It's become boring. It is so monotonous and frustrating and just tiring to hear the same bleeding hearts. You see it in the middle of the week when they announce who the referee is going to be. It starts at that point. Fan bases, whether they're confident in their team, bigging their team up, or they're going through a real tough time. Oh, we've got Anthony Taylor, or we've got the thing with me is Paul Tierney, I don't even know all the referees' names off by heart. I don't even connect their names to their faces because I don't predominantly focus on them. Most teams lose because they're not good enough. Most teams fail because their manager's not good enough, or the club isn't run well, or they bought badly in the window, or a combination of all those things, plus more. Blaming referees for where your club is nothing other than weakness. Now, referees and VAR can change the course of some games. We saw this season when Chelsea dropped points to Tottenham. The decision making in that was outrageous. Not what the referee saw in real time, but VAR reviewing the footage and not seeing the problems in the build up to both of Tottenham's goals. So I understand complaining about the decisions. There is no issue with that whatsoever in particular games. But it's when people start to go wider than that. You know what? Paul Tierney, born in Salford, he's from Manchester. How can he referee a Manchester United game? Well, firstly, he's from Wigan. Okay. Yes, you can argue he's in Greater Manchester. But by that same logic, nobody that's born in London or on the outskirts of London, can ever referee a game that involves a London team? Very weird. Any referee that's born in and around the Midlands can't referee a game that any of the Midlands teams are involved with because there's an outside chance based on geographical location they can support the club from that region. This is the level of I'm going to use the word depravity, depravity, stupidity, like just absolute ignorance. Putting out these early excuses, oh, my team's going to lose because of the referee. My team's going to lose because we never get decisions when we go to the Emirates. We never get decisions when we go to Stamford Bridge. We never get decisions when we go to Anfield. Or play better than Liverpool, play better than Man United, play better than Chelsea when you visit there, and you've got a very, very good chance of winning. Take your chances and defend well. You've got a very good chance of winning, irrespective of refereeing decisions. Rarely do I do a stream, do I review a game, including my own teams, where I blame the referee, where I focus on VAR or the referee as the reason why a team didn't win. I've probably in the last 3 years done it 1 or 2 times. But fans now, they're doing it before a game even kicks off. We will lose because of this individual. And for me, it's becoming a joke. And then what happens after the game is you spend all your time focusing on the refereeing decisions. And I've joined in this. I've joined in with this for a laugh the last few days. And everything I predicted, domino effect. I don't know what the clicking was about, but domino effect, one after the other. So, of course, what we saw in the game was a push in the back. A push in the back from Odegaard, giving away a foul. Some will say soft, some will say 100% a foul. But for me, he challenged from behind to win the ball, pushed him in the back. His knee hit the thigh, tripped him up. It's a foul. I think it's a very fair call. Arsenal fans don't want to have it. They say it's a contact sport. So Man United fans go out their way to find the situation where a free kick was given to Arsenal for a push in the back on Martinelli. So, yeah, some very, very, very simple tit for tat. Very, very simple tit for tat. There you go, Terry. What are you moaning about? There you go, Arsenal fans. What are you moaning about? You got a decision go your way as well. You then see, um, you then turn around and see Man United fans try and one up them. Man United fans go, well, you should have had a red card. Sambi there, look at that. It's in the middle of the leg. It's studs showing. Yeah, he might have won the ball, but the follow through really could have hurt Bruno Fernandes. Dangerous tackle, should have been a red card. Oh no, we're gonna one up you now, Terry, because we've found footage of there he is, Martinez going in with 2 feet. He should have got a red card, ignoring the fact that they've kind of changed the protocol on 2-footed tackles if you're not doing it towards somebody. But however, cool, that could be a red card. So what the Man United fans do, they go scouring the internet and they find the video footage of Gabriel Jesus kicking out at Martinez, which should have been a red card. And I think you can all see where I'm going with this. Some of you have probably already stopped listening and you're writing comments now. You're typing away. Stop. This is the point. There was lots of decisions that Man United fans wanted to go their way, and there were lots of decisions that Arsenal fans wanted to go their way. We as fans have been calling for years for more to be let go by the referees. Allow more to go. In terms of, you can give a foul, but don't send a guy off. Let's keep it 11v11. We start doing that, starts to happen more and more, and now people moan that red cards are not happening. You know, we moan for decades, in my opinion. Technology. Let's bring in technology. Let's have a second look. And now we're still not happy. And why are we not happy? Because we're never going to be. Fans are never going to be happy when they're not getting the decisions that they want. People chant and cheer and celebrate VAR when it gives them a decision they're happy with. And then they damn it and condemn it when they get one they don't. And this is what we've seen happen this weekend. Instead of focusing on Man United's good defensive shape, instead of focusing on Arsenal's dominant play but lack of cutting edge, instead of really focusing on the mistake by Mikel Arteta with the substitutions, which allowed Man United to exploit them late on, instead of focusing on the game, instead of focusing on the growth of Man United, the growth of Arsenal, and the setback they've got, and how will they bounce back from it? And if they bounce back with a couple of wins on the bounce, what does that say about their mentality? What can they go to? What can they do from here? How can they improve? Is Man United just a flash in the pan, or are we really started to see the improvements? No, everything's been dominated. Everything has been dominated by one refereeing decision in this game and in others. And for me, it's becoming a joke. Now, I'm not suggesting we shouldn't call out bad decision making, but when people use that bad decision making as the reason their team didn't win a football match or doesn't make it into the top 4 or gets relegated, it is a nonsense. I keep hearing people say, but one bad VAR call and the team could get relegated. Okay, if they get a bad VAR call on the final day of the season and get relegated, cool. What about the other 37 games they played? Why are we ignoring this? If there's an egregious decision in a cup final and it sends it one way, I kind of get the debate. But there wasn't a conspiracy. This wasn't preordained. The Referees Association didn't get together and said, whatever you do, Arsenal have to lose. Whatever you do, Man United cannot win another Premier League title. This doesn't exist. So call the decisions out in isolation, but focus on your teams. I don't think it helps Man United. I don't think it helps Arsenal. I don't think it helps Tottenham to perpetuate and push conspiracy theory nonsense. And equally, learn to understand that subjective decisions are just that. They are subjective. And with hindsight and pressure and review, and of course, you'll see a referee afterwards, the PGMOL, I think they're called. What a weird, I know it's not a weird name, but it's a mouthful. They'll come out and go, we got that wrong sometimes. Well, of course, they're going to come out and admit when they get things wrong, when there's huge media pressure and the spotlight is upon them. I bet if they reviewed a number of decisions in every game, every week, they go, I might give that different. Maybe we change our minds now that we've looked at it back. We've used hindsight, which is a lucrative commodity in 2020 vision. It's easier after the fact. When you listen to, I do this, I give an opinion and then I take calls on my show and I go, you know what? I kind of changed my stance on that a little bit. I saw a tweet the other day about Arsenal and people calling me out. Well, you said they played well, didn't defend well. So how can you not defend well and be considered playing well? Well, that's a really good distinction. So they played well in terms of progressing the ball, but they were quite poor defensively at times. But I changed my view because I got new opinions. But that isn't how refereeing is done. To a degree, VAR gives us a little bit of that where a new opinion is given to you, which is why they sometimes change their minds. But they have to make an on-the-spot decision. They don't get to hold a 3-hour calling show on TalkSport, hear from 15 pundits across 10 different stations, millions of fans tweeting about it, the media making headlines about it. If they got all of that before the decision was made on the pitch, they'd get even more accurate maybe. And I'm not saying we shouldn't criticize. And I know some of you are going to take this content as me saying, well, Terry, we can't criticize bad decisions. That isn't what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that we are taking it too far. Most teams lose because they're not good enough on the day. Your team, your players, your manager will make more mistakes in the game. Think about this game. And by the way, let me just say this now. I don't actually think Sambi should have been sent off for this tackle. I don't think Gabriel Jesus should have been sent off for this kick. I don't think Martinez should have been sent off for this. Could they be given? Yeah, of course they could. If a player gets caught and the other guy play acts and it makes a big song and dance about it, of course it can happen. I didn't really want, in the moment, you're calling it out, you're bantering people in the room. I didn't really want Saka booked for diving because I wanted it 11v11. I wanted a good game of football. And I wanted it to be about which team was better in reality. Of course, if Arsenal got 3 players sent off and we won, would I care as a Man United fan? Absolutely not. But the point that I'm kind of alluding to is that far too, the reason I'm saying this is because the referee made far less mistakes in this game than Arsenal did. The referee and the VAR made far less mistakes in this game than Manchester United did. But yet we're not focusing on that primarily. It's about the refs. And I don't think it helps you and your club. I don't think it does. It passes the buck. It takes away responsibility. And what you've got to hope and pray for is that your managers and your coaches not pumping this into the heads of your players. Oh, they're out to get us. Because I'm telling you, if you have an attitude through life that people are out to get us, you're going to be held back. You're not going to progress because there's a preordained route for you. Most people that think like that never succeed. You get a lot of people that have succeeded that push that weird notion. They're liars because they weren't held back because they are where they are. They have to bloody work hard, most likely. 99% of people that are successful have to work hard. But it's a nonsense. And I'm just sick to my back teeth of seeing it complained about. Now, people will say, my final word is this. Well, you're only saying this because Man United benefited. If you go back and watch my content throughout the course of time, I've even called for my own players to be banned when they've dived. I don't do the bias like most content creators. Just simply don't, right? This isn't about bias. This is about fans being honest. And it's boring watching people sit there in their tinfoil hats moaning about conspiracy theories when there isn't one. It's just human beings in almost real time, in real time in most occasions, and with a minute or two to make a decision in front of tens of thousands of people with millions of people watching, and then your team loses because of that, and suddenly you want to make it, you want to focus on that as being the biggest problem. It is crazy to me, and it has to stop because aside from everything else, it is really, really boring.